All I have to say is that you might as well get some tea or a cup of coffee, because right now I'm about to explain everything what happened to me, so we can all have this chat right now. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Neon, or you can call me Alex. But today I'm gonna tell you guys a little story time of what happened with me at Amazon. The reason why I wanted to tell you, because there's some videos out there that explain like people being like so over dramatic, or like they're saying like, oh, it's no big deal, just like, man up or whatever, blah blah blah, and all that type of shit. No, I'm gonna give you guys my experience of what happened at the Amazon I worked at. So before we get into it, I want you guys to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you guys can like keep up of, when I post videos on the channel. All right, so let's just dive right in. Okay, so apparently me and my friend were trying to get in the one in Chicago, but they told us that they were overfilled. So they told us like there was no any spots and everything, and I'm just like, what should we do? But then they told us to go to another city called over in Joliet, or Juliet, however you pronounce the city. So then when we went there, they also told us the same thing, but then they told us to go to Indiana in Indianapolis. And I was just like, one, I don't know where that's at that time. And two, are we really gonna commit to just getting a job out there? So then when my friend was just like, let's just give it a try and see what happens. So we just automatically just decided just to go, just for shits and giggles, and just also just see Indianapolis, because I've never seen Indianapolis at that time. So when we got there, we went to this building, and at that time, which I'll tell you later on more in the video, that they told us that, this is where you sign up, and then you take a personality test, and then you get to do like this and that. Basically the whole rundown for the application. So when we got there, we came back, I would say like literally the next day, that I got a call and saying, hey, orientation is about to start on this Friday. Do you want to come in? And I was just like, yeah, sure, like, let's see. I can't believe I just got a job at Amazon. Like, oh my God. Like, this is also so surreal. And then second, I don't know Indianapolis. And then where was I at? And all this, thoughts were just going through my mind. We did orientation. And they give you all that bullshit about orientation, to where like, do not bring your phone, do not do this, do not do that, but you can do this, you can't do that, and blah, blah, blah. So they told us that we're allowed to have 2 breaks and 1 30-minute lunch out of a whole 10-hour shift. And then when the whole orientation group, it was kind of weird, because like, we were divided to where like, this is guys and this is girls. And then I was just talking to some guys to be like, hey, what's up? Like, blah, blah. Long story short, we were that divided during orientation. So we had this thing called an ambassador, to where like, basically this guy or girl was like the head chief to like basically tutor us about the whole, working at Amazon thing. So we had to listen to that one person to tell us like you have to have a scanner every day on you. Then you have to do this. Then you have to do that. And then I was in the being in the store department, to where like, it's literally like aisles and aisles and aisles of merchandise, to where it's like almost like a library type in a way, but it goes on. And it was very dark and also like very dusty at the same time. But I kind of got to know one of the ambassadors, because we started being friends, and then we started doing like, stuff here and there. But long story short, so during that whole thing with the whole orientation thing, like, I actually forgot to have my phone on me. And I still tell this story to all my friends till today because they thought it was hilarious. I accidentally brought my phone into the warehouse because the thing is, like, if you have your own phone on you, or if you have, like, I don't know, like any type of item, they're gonna automatically think that you're stealing because security was literally an asshole slash bitch. So I actually had my phone on me, and then to the point where they were trying to figure out, like, okay, you stole this phone. And I was just like, no, like, I was trying to say, like, no, I didn't steal this phone. Like, this is actually my phone. You can see, like, that's all my pictures, all my selfies. And then, like, the girl was just like, no, like, you're such a liar. Like you stole this phone. I was being accused of being a liar. So I kind of got mad. So we're like, you don't know me, like obviously, like, if I'm telling you that's my phone, to where it has a busted camera, like, you see how worn out my case is. This used to be a pop socket right there. You see how worn out this is. Obviously, I'm telling you that is my phone. Like, why would I make a circle like this all the damn time? Like, makes no sense. But it was to the point to where she actually saw my nudes and somebody else's nudes in my phone, until, like, I was just like, and she was just like, okay, I guess you're telling the truth. So I was just like, obviously, duh, like, I'm trying to tell you, you dense fuck. Manager was just like, yeah, like, you can't bring your phone in, blah, blah, and you also can't tell the security that they're stupid, dense fuck bitches. And I was just like, well, I was trying to tell her until she got to my nudes. So obviously, what does that tell you? So security was tight about everything. You had to make sure you had this. You had to make sure you empty out your pockets, and you can't have any type of metal on you because they literally warn you down. So I had to deal with that literally every day. And then I was just so kind of like tired. It was just like, whatever. All I carried was literally just my car keys in my pockets. Like, I didn't bring my wallet in or anything. If I wanted to get, like, something from the vending machine, I would literally go out to my car and then come back in. Yes, I would literally waste my lunchtime or whatever break. So the department was basically just like all, like, you come in, you have to do stretches, and you have to do, like, you have to have a scanner on you. And then you had to literally stay, or you literally have to bring a cart in and then finish that whole cart less than, I believe it was like 20 minutes or like 30 minutes at that time. I can't remember. But they tell us, like, you have to finish the cart and you have to do this. If you don't scan something in the next 10 minutes, they honestly do monitor and track you, be like, well, what are you doing? So, me being me, I actually tried a way to, like, cheat the system because, like, yeah, like, they told us, like, we can't work in the same aisle, but, like, I can be at this end, and then someone could just come through an aisle, and another person could be there. So I'm just technically be like, well, we're not technically in an aisle if this aisle is coming through, and then that person across from me, you know, is doing his own aisle or her aisle. So of course, like, you know, I was always that one person just to, like, kind of correct management, but I was not being, like, literally a bitch about it. And also, we had, like, a little weird competition to where, like, I kind of worked on the west side instead of the east side, because later on, like, when I was working, like, that whole year, like, I found out that east side was trying to compete with west side too. But in reality, I was supposed to be on east side, but management liked me on west side, so I was just like, I'll stay on west side and just do my own thing. The whole social interaction, just being in there, was kind of weird at that warehouse I was at, because there was management, like, doing their own thing, to where, like, they didn't even care of what you were doing unless, like, you're not doing your job, like scanning some stuff or, like, grabbing cards and anything. But back to the whole cheating the system thing, I was, like, tired of, you know, doing rate or quota or however, like miles per hour. People just had like weird things. Basically, basically, you had to work a whole shift, making 100%, during the whole entire shift. And then there were some times where like I was like at a 99.9, and then there were some times where I was like at a 105, and then there were some times I was at a 125. So I was like literally like, slacking off and then whatever, just get to you. But as long as you complete 100 through the whole 10-hour shift, you are completely fine. That's what they told me, because like even before lunchtime, they didn't even care. But as soon as you get to the end of the shift, they care as long you get that 100 at the end of the day. And there was some times where like I was just so sick of just having just the scanner on me, to where I was just like, I want to do something else. Like, this is just so tiring, and I'm just like fed up with everything. And they told us like, oh, why don't you work on dock? Like, you don't have to worry about rate, quota, miles per hour, whatever the fuck, and then just take your time just unloading trucks. I'm like, I can do that. So I kind of mostly did my time just doing that instead of just having the scanner, which I was trying to tell people. I'm like, look, this is great. I mean, I could just stick around and just do whatever the fuck I want. Just make sure like, no management or like any snitches could find me just like slacking off and doing anything. But I was never that type of person just to like, be at somebody like that, or just be like, well, so-and-so's not doing this, or so-and-so's not doing that. Look, I came in just to do what I want, just to get my money, and then just do it. Because basically everyone's there for their checks. Well, not like that, but like there's some that are devoted. But like me, I was just there for my check, just to be like, yes, I'm gonna do my job, and second, I'm gonna do it my way. And then I'm not gonna criticize that person just fucking up or whatever. People actually got along with in the warehouse I was at, because there was not that much, drama or like anything. People were just there just to like do themselves. Like, people always go to problem solve, or people just had to go to the picker's desk, or the people just had to go to restock or outbound. And I was just like, I'm just all by myself. Yeah, but like I found ways to like mentally like prepare myself, and because like there was days and days and days I was just so tired of my feet and back pain, because people just tell you not to do this or like not to do that. And then there was just like, oh my god, I'm fine, because security will literally come around and bitch at you because you're supposed to do it this way and not that way. And then, I always loved how they always give out free water bottles to everyone, because they're just like, you need to have one. Whether you say, no, I don't want one, be like, you need to have it. And when I worked there, especially when it got to peak season, because they warn you about peak season, to where you had to work 55 hours a whole week, and then you had to make sure you made rate. But they bumped up rate at 125 because Christmas and Halloween and New Year's, and it was crazy. But at that time when I worked there, it was more like they changed departments, because apparently inbound was full, and then what I was doing, like everyone was like full. So they put me to pick, and not only that, they sent me to restock, then they sent me to pack, what was it called? I think it was called HLS or something, to where like you're literally putting items that people order in a box, and then wrap it, and then throw it on the line. So literally you grab an item off the conveyor belt, put it in a box, wrap it, put it on the line. I was doing that the whole Christmas season. Oh, Lord Jesus, take the glasses and the wheel. Yes, like you're always walking, you're always like on your feet. There was some times where I was just like, when there was no like, higher authority around, I would just make sure like I was sitting on like actually on a tote, or like on my knees, to where like, I'm pretending to put something in a lower bin, because they literally had like the ground floor bin, then above that and above that and above that, to where it was like this shelf was right here that high, to where I can put that on top. And I'm only 6'2", but it was like a crazy, also fun experiment, because, you know, like, everyone has different stories. And then me, I had a time to where, like, you know, I can handle that. But what I hated the most just working there was just management was just glued to their laptops or computers, and then they barely talked to us. They barely, like, knew my name or like anybody else. They will only know your name if they literally scan your badge, and then they would tell you, like, all right, look, you're fucking up here, you gotta do this or you gotta do that. But it was literally a crazy experience just being there, because I mean, yeah, the pay was good, but they mostly just care about if you're making that 100% rate. But I just want to tell everyone that if you think if you can work there, I would suggest be prepared mentally and also be prepared physically, because I even doubled up on soles, to where like my pain of my feet were just hurting. And then secondly, you're under pressure a lot to know that shit, you know, just changes like instantly. So you have to make sure, like, all right, we went in this direction, now we got to go in this direction. But oh wait, I guess that's done, so we're gonna try to go back to this direction. So it's literally like that type of feel. And I just want to say that was my experience of just working there. If you think you had a bad job, or people just didn't like it, or you just fed up, comment down below so I can know what's going on with you. And then in the meantime, also hit that bell notification so you guys can know if I'm making videos, and y'all can just tune in so we can just talk about it all in the comments down below. But anyway, I will see you guys soon. So